Hey everybody, this is Grace and I am on my way. Today is Sunday, March 23rd, and I am on my way to start. Again, look at all the horses. You can see them. I'm on my way again to start trying to do these, start trying to work again. I was planning on going today, and then Adam said this about my SUV needs new tires. I don't know. In my SUV, I bought it new in May of 2019, and it has 20,787 miles. 20,000. Now, when you read online, Adam even said it's usually 50,000. By the time you need new tires, and online it said 50 to 75,000 before you need new tires. I've been trying to figure that out because I'm a very logical, I got to think that way. That's how I think. Why would that be the case that mine needs new tires? Well, it only doesn't even have 21,000 miles on it. And the only thing I can think of is I'm not driving over rough roads. I'm driving over roads like this. Okay. Majority of what I drive over, I'd say 90%, 99%, it's this kind of road. So what is it? When your tires get, as they age, what would you even call it? Treads, whatever, come off easier? Something. I mean, really. Now, I never did rotate them, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But anyway, I decided to go ahead and start today because yesterday, or the day, whenever it was, the day before, I don't know, I tried to start all my apps again, and I have been doing that, to make sure I haven't gotten, inactivated. I wouldn't call that deactivated. I would call it inactivated. Maybe I'm wrong. But, that's a difference. Deactivated is more like you did something wrong. You stole, or you didn't deliver to the right house, or somebody stole the food and they're going to blame you. That kind of thing. Yeah, that's what it is. But, inactivated is because you haven't been active, and they have a certain amount of time that they don't tell you up front that you have to work between before you get inactivated. And so I did that, on them, and one of them got me. One of them said, no, we're not going to re-inactivate you. Okay, at this moment, try again later. Don't know about all that, why that was that way, but I realized after I had done it to send it for it to be reactivated that I didn't send in my my auto's insurance, little card thing. It's not a card, it's a piece of paper, but it shows that I have active insurance. And I hadn't sent that in. I thought maybe that's what it was, and that's not one I used. I think delivered maybe 2 places ever. So I can understand why they would say, nope, we're not going to do it at this time. And I do wonder if the next time I put in my insurance, auto insurance, copy of it, be different. I've got so many things to do now that I'm back to, can't say normal, but all the health and everything I had. But I've got so many things, so many adulting things to do. Like I got to renew my driver's license, and this is, I don't know about where you are, but this is Texas, and all these people are supposed to be going back to work this next week, I think. And I wonder how all the state employees are supposed to be going back to work sometime soon. The ones that were working from home, and these people apparently were mainly working from home. That did the driver's license. I could be lying. I could be totally wrong. But I mean, isn't that, and you had to make appointments. Instead of just going to the driver's license office, you have to make appointments, and I could have went before now. But have to make an appointment, and it's all done online, and of course the thing online was telling me, nuh-uh. And so I had to write them an email. And I kept trying different ways, because it has my maiden name as my middle name, and that's the way it was back then, that I had to take Adam's last name. I had to, or they informed me that the Social Security office could fine and or imprison me. I will never forget them saying that. That was when I was 18. I am 61. So, it was a long time ago. But anyway, I sent a whole, not a whole, but an email to Mom. She said, I don't see any reason why it was not doing that. If it does it again, then try this other way. We'll see. But like I said, I think all the state employees are going back to work, going back to their offices. So we shall see. And all this stuff is just going to be a hassle that I didn't need, especially now. I don't need any hassles. Okay, so yeah, I am so impressed. Okay, not. But at least it's not somebody doing that with their in their car and making the mufflers sound all loud and everything. But anyway, as for working, in the past, I wouldn't do it like a lot of gig tubers do, because if I do a screenshot, I'm using Android. Need I say more? But if I do a screenshot of the order, it actually becomes what's the word that I kept using? Flew right out of my mind. But I mean, I can touch it on like when I first saw this, somebody else had made a video on one of those that people, it's one that a lot of gig tubers use. I guess they invite gig tubers. I don't know, I never really watched that one, but they invited them to do an episode, I guess. And interactive, is that the word I was using? But I could put my cursor on it and touch it, and it would show something else, on the little screenshot of the offer from the food delivery company or whatever. I remember somewhere. I don't remember where somewhere, but it said that. I think it was one I don't use. It says that you can't do that. They don't allow people to do that. Because anything that has their logo on it, anything that is their property, I think is the way they called it, their property. And you're not allowed to do that, to use it for anything. So I know a lot of people are doing that one. I think it's that one that a lot of people use. I didn't find it all that great at all. No, thank you. Okay, now what is not their property is me going, to deliver the road to, the road back. The problem with that is if I don't know, I tested it one time. That was back in 2023, I think, and that of switching screens back and forth, it could have been on that one that I found as trash also, but switching screens back and forth, then it would yell at me saying that my connection was not right or something. And no, my connection was still there. It was just that the app was so poorly made that I couldn't switch apps for using it. Plus, it always not dropped carrier. What is the word term? Drop carrier. Why am I thinking that? It was always messing up. I mean, non-stop messing up. You know, even after I cancel, it would cancel an order. It would still, like one time. I'm not saying it would every time, but I remember one time it kept telling me, giving me the directions on how to get to that place, and I was delivering on a different app, and I could not get that to stop. I could not get to it. It was gone. It was not even in the background. Oh, this is crazy stuff. You know, whoever, I mean, supposedly it's supposed to be a good one. That's not a good one. But you're driving down the road and you're hearing two directions. Go, turn here, turn, nope, turn there. Oh, you're messing up because you're turning there. Goodness, what a mess. But anyway, so what's not there is that, but still, I'm going to try it. But I really don't want to screw up something, you know. And okay, maybe just from the, I don't know, I can take a picture at the door and post that something of me, you know, having had delivered it and stuff. Yeah. Now the whole thing is, it's funny. It's because what I have been thinking is, I want to get out there and just start it up and see what happens, because I have no clue. I have no clue, you know, if they still had those fleet people that were taking all the orders. I mean, they took all of them. Oh my goodness, what was left over was so pathetic. And I don't know how, you know, how well I'm going to be able to work. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do, because of the health issues and all. I'm really, you know, my doctor said, go back to work. That's, you know, well, I asked him, the cardiologist, can I go back to work? He said, if you feel like you can go, I'm all behind you, something like that. And so I guess he didn't see any reason why I couldn't. But now I have to see if there is any reason why I can't. You see, because I'm out here. But I don't know how the offers are going to be. I don't know any of this stuff yet. Because it's been since right before Halloween. That's what, 5 months, something like that. What the heck is this? Somebody living in there? But, to each their own. But we shall see. I think I'll park right here. Used to be where I would park. So let's just see if I, and I'm not going to do it where you can hear it, because it's very loud. You know, the bing. Okay, I had to delete some of that clip because I couldn't tell if that was a kid or not walking by with their parents. I don't know. So I deleted some of it, but yeah, I've got so many things. Where was I? Got so many things. You know, I got to see if I can do this physically. Can I do this? Is it going to wear me out? Is it going to be a problem? You know, the edema, the swelling because of the water retention, and all these different things, you know, that going on, and just see. But I was thinking, you know, like I said, maybe taking a picture of me leaving it at the door. You know, I would have to just say how much it was, and, you know, like I said, a screenshot becomes interactive, or whatever term it was that I used. There's a little red truck. Like a lot of people like that design, the little red truck. Anyway. And, you know, see how the offers are. They're going to be the $2, $3, this kind of thing. And today is Sunday. Sundays are usually the best days. I think that's pretty much every market. I've heard people say that Sunday was the best day. Of course, people say Friday too. My Fridays aren't all that great. It's Sunday that sticks out. But we'll see, because this is a small town, and because of the health, I know I can't do stairs. And I like coming here because there aren't that many apartment complexes. And but I've done that before, that I went to apartment complex and more than once and found that I couldn't do it because they didn't have like an elevator. I couldn't find, you know, There were most of them that don't have elevators. It's usually up to the second or third floor, and the stairs are outside. And I almost passed out on one of them because the temperature was 102 outdoors. It was the first year I did it. I didn't think it was all that high. Yeah, I didn't think. I should have stopped right there. But wind, sandy wind, heat hit me, and man, I almost passed out. And I said never again. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Let me give it a try. Like you're stopping me. Okay, I'm gonna have a good laugh at me today. I have a feeling. I just went to, before I started, I thought I'd do like I usually do, or used to do. The same kind of routine, get myself back into that kind of routine. Once I would get here, I'd go get myself something to eat. It's 1:48, and I haven't had lunch, so hey, why not? Actually, I had some fish sticks. I forgot about that. They were little tiny ones, only 6 of them. Anyway, little tiny things. Yeah, I'm just fine. And but we're gonna have a laugh at me probably today, because I went there, and what I used to do is I would order that same restaurant, clean restrooms, and I would order, go to the restroom, and I'd get myself a cup of ice, because I bring my little teeny tiny cooler here, and I have sodas in it. And I already have one, but I get some ice, get myself just a sandwich, a burger, and then come back out of the restroom, fill my ice, my order would be ready, and I'd go. As I was walking back to put the ice in, all of a sudden I walked right out of my shoe, my left shoe, my right shoe. I'm like, why would I do that? Okay, well, why would I walk right out? And I was thinking, the only thing I walk right out of is, and I looked down after I put my shoe back on. And as I put my shoe back on, I was wearing my house shoes. Okay. I gotta laugh. You see, I keep my working shoes, or my shopping shoes, inside my SUV. I always have 2 pairs of shoes. One are Crocs, and the other are Skechers. What do they call them? With the arch, and you pull them on. You just step in them, that kind of thing. And so I always have those. And when I get out, when I come out of my house, I always wear my house slippers. I have so many pairs of them. And I wear those just to get in the car. It's just right there at the door. So I just look, wow, we got a lot of little things to go through. Now I need to eat, and then I'm going to start. And I might have some comments about how the orders are. But it's almost 2. It's 1:51 p.m., so it's almost 2. 2's the bad hour. When I first started doing them, 2 was not the bad hour. Really never. There was never a bad hour, but we got to see if those fleet people are still around too. Okay, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. All these parking places out here. This is one of the 2 main places this happens. There's got to be somebody who's going to come and park near me. All these parking spots. You can see the corner. That person, though, I understand. I understand. She had to park right there in front of me. I guess she needed her steps in to the store, because it's way out here, And she had to take her half out of the middle of the parking spot, because that's what it looks like to me. She's parked in 2 parking spots, part of it in the front one, part of it in the back one. But she had an emergency, okay? And she walked fast too, all the way into the wait. Let me see if I can do this. Wait, nobody can go far enough. But way over there, because she had an eyebrow emergency. Oh yes, eyebrows. Beauty salon is where she went into. She had to hurry. She couldn't park normal. No. Okay, and yes, if you're wondering, I did pull up a little bit so I could see if she actually did take 2 parking spots, and she did. At the back end of her car, is that an SUV? I don't know. Yeah. Back end of it is over the line into the one behind her, because she had an eyebrow emergency. You know, we have to respect that. And in case you're wondering, that the shop is for eyebrows only. It says it in the title. It is for eyebrows only. Maybe after that she'll go to the one next door to it. Maybe she has an emergency there too. It's a wax center. I know. I need to get to work, right? Let's see. At least I'm getting back to normal. Okay, doing it this way because of kids. I don't put other people's kids in my videos. But let's see, the first one, I haven't done one yet. It's $2.34. The first one, the first offer was $4 for 1.1 miles, which, you know, it's a good ratio, but it's not that good, $4. But I was willing to take it because I just need one. I just want one offer to see, one order, take it, see how I'm going to do, and to have that one order so they don't, you know, what did I say earlier? Oh, yeah, not inactivate me. Yeah, because I don't know how long I have to wait. But anyway, you know, but you have to do it by a certain time or something. Anyway, you know, a certain amount of months or whatever. But anyway, I can't get one. They have sent me some offers, but they were really bad. And then I decided to close it and then restart it. Nothing since then. But it is it's $2.35, like I said, well now, $2.35, and this is not the hour for anybody eating. Like I said, it used to be when I first started. But I would take just one, and I have one of them, another one on right now, and I didn't turn that one off. But I don't know if see, because this is, let me finish what I was saying. The first one was $4 for 1.1 mile, which would have been great. Okay, which would have been great if it hadn't been in Richardson, and I was, you know, zoomed in on the map, which I do because I don't do apartments, and it was an apartment. Yeah, so it would have been fine to fit that, you know, one thing, but apartment. And then I had one a little later that was the same kind of thing, and it was an apartment, and it was Richardson. Yeah, Richardson again. And this is Murphy, Texas. I want to work and deliver in Murphy, Texas. Okay, but some of these places, like, you know, that was 1.1 mile. Richardson is just down the road. Okay, Richardson, I think Sashi is off of Wiley, which is right here, right behind me. And there's part of Plano, and Parker maybe touches it. Well, I'm pretty sure Parker touches it, but it was in a mile or so. And I mentioned Sashi. And anyway, those, you know, when it's just a mile or 2 miles, fine. Unless it's out there in the boonies. What did I call it? Used to call it Bubba Town or something. It's where people drive Bubba trucks, whether it's Bubba or Bubette. And they own the road. The roads are real narrow. Big old huge drop off. If you fall off, fall off the road, run off the road or get run off the road, it's game over. It's wow. It's like that. And usually no median, no shoulder, no lines, no anything on the road, no stop signs. It's Bubba Town. What did I used to call it, really? But Adam and I, when I first started, Adam would go with me, and back in 2023, and we wound up going out to these places. Did not have a clue that that's what it was, and so some of them were scary. One of them, I had to call them and say, no, it's too scary to go out there. It was unbelievable. I'm talking two older adults. We used to do all kinds of road trips, go places like you wouldn't believe. No, didn't matter, you know, where we were or whatever. We were brave. And that was like, oh my gosh. One of them was, more than one, but one of them was especially bad. Yeah, Adam said he could just imagine a bunch of drunk men made an order and were waiting for their next victim. That's how it played in his mind. It was scary. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna turn that one back on again, and I'm thinking if it's, I don't remember what time I said earlier. Was it 1:53 or something like that? But if it gets to be 3 o'clock and nothing is going on out here, I'm just gonna, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I think that was an hour. It's 2:51. Right at close to 3, like I had said. And I said I was gonna wait and see what happened by 3, but nothing was happening. They kept trying to send me out to, you do have a stop sign there. You do see that, right? It's a 4-way stop, yeah. But they kept trying to send me out to Rowlett and Garland. No, no, Rowlett. I have not been out there probably since, oh my goodness, probably the 1990s, if not the 1980s. Seriously. And it wasn't easy to get out back then, but you know, that's a long time ago. Still, what I could see is, I think I would have to go across. I have a feeling it wouldn't be that easy, you know, at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and go here. 3 lanes. Did you see that in front of me? Yeah. Okay, now that person's gonna tailgate that other one. Look at that. Road rage much? But yeah, how dare you? How dare you? They were both kind of wrong, because you're supposed to be able to turn in your own lane. Which lane is closer to you if you're coming from across the street? That's what I remember. Don't take my word on it, but I'm fairly certain that's what it's always been. If you know better, let me know. But like if you're in that parking to the right here, you would turn into that right lane if nobody's coming. And the only other person coming from the other side, they gotta turn in that lane right next to them. Now how are you gonna do that when you're doing a UE or something like that? Well, good question. But why did those all of a sudden, or did I just not see them? Anyway, nothing good. I just want one. I don't know, it's the time, and I should have known. I mean, I do know that, but still, something, and it kept trying to send me, like I said, there were, offers, but there were also, almost every one of them, almost, maybe 60-70% of them, yeah, let's say that, they were stacked, if not more, really. Like one of them sent me one that was $3 for 3.7 miles, I think. And there was no way I was going to do that. And somebody got pulled over or what? And then it was from this certain restaurant I've never heard of before, but it stood out. So right after that, I got one that was a stacked, and it was to that same restaurant, and it was for 2. And then right after that, they sent me one, I think it was for 3, or maybe it was 2. Yeah, it was 2. The same restaurant again, but not the same. It was a different city each time. Yeah. No, thank you. I'm not into wasting my time. Although I just wasted how long? Really, I just need to get that one. So I tried there. Sunday would be like that, and I kind of question it because that area right there is It's more like it is a kind of a, in Texas, I guess you could call it a smallish town, medium sized. How much is it? 21,013, I think, something like that. And Murphy, but I think it's a lot more like the kids, you know, they're family homes, and probably on Sunday somebody's going to be cooking, and they're not going to be going out to eat. I would think. I remember thinking that before. So about Saturday too. So maybe I have to change my way. Weekdays maybe there, because I mean I'm right there. I want to deliver right there, and I know there were some days in the past when I would go out to Murphy and I was just one after another, you know, during the weekdays. So I'm going to start doing that again. If I don't lose this, that is my main thing. I want to get that one, so I don't lose the access to that app, you know, to be able to deliver. Because I'm doing all this for health insurance, the affordable care. I don't know exactly how it works, so don't take my word on it. But I was told I had to work. I couldn't just pay for the insurance outright. Just pay for it. I just wanted to pay for it myself. Nope, couldn't do that. They said you have to work. And okay, well, let's see. I'm getting health insurance because I need it. I can't get Medicaid because this is Texas. Did I say that? And I have too many assets. And to get rid of them is illegal, which I wouldn't do anyway. I mean, come on. And I wouldn't do anything illegal, and I wouldn't get rid of my assets. So I wanted to pay for it outright. But no, with edema and health part, you know, all these health conditions, yeah. So just let me get one. Let me get started back. This was the only kind of job I could do, because who's going to let me go home? You know, like I could be there an hour or so and I need to go home and elevate my legs. Or elevate my legs on a job. Can you imagine that? Seriously. There's more construction. What are they doing over there? Wow. Lots of construction going on. But it's been like that for a while. Usually road construction during the last administration. Yeah, lots of it. Lots of it in this very wealthy, very conservative county. Yeah. Anyway, lots of road construction. It was like, you know, trying to deliver when there's road construction everywhere. You know, one time I was late for an order, but when I got there, it was kind of spooky anyway, because she already had some stuff out there, sitting out there, and nowhere to be seen. And there was some guy that was, he was kind of sketchy. He delivered to a really nice neighborhood, and there's some guy sitting there, like he's watching stuff. And so I just sat there. I did not move. I mean, after I delivered it, I just sat there and watched to see, was he going to steal that stuff? Because she had stuff like from Amazon and just regular postal stuff, just sitting right there on her, you know, front porch. Front porch. That's not exactly a porch, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know where I'm going to go now. Just try other spots and see what happens, and make myself zoom in. I could just go home, and it's 1 minute till 3. Or go put some gas in my SUV. It's got over half a tank. But if I'm going to be doing this, I don't know. You know, just sitting there waiting for stuff. It was frustrating. I mean, some of the offers were, like I said, they were just, yeah, they would have been okay if it hadn't been going to where they were going. You know, like I said, way out in the boony/Bubba Town, and were they on the road, and they're going to run you off the road if you're not going as fast as they think you should at that moment. This happened. I mean, they didn't run me off the road, but it was scary. One one time accepted. I didn't mean to. I was going to do something. My finger hit the button, and then right at when an order came through, I didn't have a chance to look at it. And I was about to turn it off or something. You know how that happens. And took one that was in Bobotown. Some of these places are scary. I'm serious. Okay, and you know, I'm Texan, and I grew up in what some would call Bobotown. So, okay, I'm not really scared of people, never have been, which is not a good thing. I never really have been scared of people. I call myself a gentle giant. I'm a woman. I've always been female, always will be. To each their own, you know. But me, I've always been strong-bodied. I've faced so much in my life that I'm not scared of people. But some of these things, when I'm out there in Booney Bubba Hill, I'm gonna light on one eventually. But scary, so they're scary. They really are. Some of these places to deliver to, you wonder if you're in some kind of a scary movie. Scary movie. Okay, and some of them, they're in a place where you wouldn't expect it. Like, one of them's right around here. And Adam was with me, luckily, that day. And it was surrounded by a bunch of ranches. And I would call them mini ranches here in Texas. They're not the big ranches. And, just like maybe people who wanted to have a few horses and a few cattle, something like that. And they have nice houses. But I think the place that I wound up delivering to was where they have like maybe, why are y'all just sitting there? They have like ranch hands for the whole area, maybe. That's the only way I can see it. It was a house that these people lived in, because it was I'm telling you, it was weird. Parked out, and it had a circular driveway, which was made out of more like asphalt. And right at the beginning of it, it looked like they had torn down the roof, or maybe the siding. I think it was roof. And they had all those, I don't know what you would call them, tiles maybe, sitting there. And I kept walking up, and they had that line across that part of the driveway, that circular driveway, like I said, half moon. And anytime I've ever seen that, there's an electrical wire across that, it's always been scary. Serious. Since I was a child, anytime I ever saw that, it's something not right with that person. But anyway, I went up to it, and it seemed more like it was the back of it, but no, that was the front of it. And I had no idea where was the door. And it had bay windows, bay door. What would it be called? French doors, maybe on the back of the house. But I was at the front of the house. Tell me, I don't know. But because there was also only right down the curve, there was the front door. It was a big house, but when I went there, inside looked like an old, it looked more like when you go to a doctor's office and there's the nurse's station, the old-fashioned kind. There was a nursing station, and they had rooms all off to the side of it. You could see the nursing station and see a bunch of rooms for office visits. Okay, what would that be doing in a house? Seriously. And I put that food down real fast and I actually casually walked back. I tell you, it's not a good thing. I'm really not scared of people, but I should be. But that situation made me worried. It was like, what the crap? I mean, you had to be there. Maybe that's what it is. You would have to be there to see how just all around weird it was. Seriously. Maybe that's what it was, where the ranch hands all lived for that area. Something like that. Okay, it took $23.05 to fill it up. And the gas prices here are $2.85, did it say? Yeah, $2.85. Let's see, this has been spring. Well, today's Sunday, so last week was spring break. Technically last week. And yeah, you on the road, you should pull in front of me. Yeah. Anyway. Can I pull in front of somebody and say, yep, right here. I'm on the road too. Yeah, you know that's gonna happen, right? So, yeah, that was the right address. It has the number. The last number, of course, was taken off. Yeah. That's all we need is the last number taken off. But I went according to GPS. I was in the right place. 2 GPSs. When I got to, anyway, I accepted an order at that gas station, where I was doing the racetrack part, and then I turned it on just to see, and boom. Okay, right here, and not the greatest area. I have not been in this area right here. It's a nice house. Nice old houses. I did not know this is out here. But anyway, I had no idea that it was an apartment because I zoomed in and it looked like a house. And it got me because it was a small one. They built a whole bunch of new ones out here. But anyway, it was, I don't even remember the amount. It wasn't it's at a pizza place, and I had to go to the restroom because, I'm doing this for health reasons. I'm on 3 diuretics a day. One of those 3 being Lasix. Okay, Lasix. Apparently, those are the big guns. That's the big gun. And yeah, and I need to go to the restroom, so I had to go to the one next door. And it was in a sketchy area of town, which we really don't have it out here in Plano because I think what it would be to some, other places would probably be like more middle class. Some of it. So, but here it's thought of as not, as more of a lower class. So, financially. I don't like using those terms at all. But anyway, now I know this street. I don't know all up in there. Now I do a little bit, right? Anyway, it turned out to be an apartment. But in order to go to the restroom, of course it's pizza, and I don't know of any pizza place that has a restroom for customers. No. It's just pick up and get the heck out. And I don't know of any of them that there might be one that just opened. I don't know of any of them really that you can sit down inside of it. But anyway. So I asked the guy, and he said the laundry mat might have a restroom. And so I went there. Did I mention 3 diuretics a day? And there was a young man there, and I asked him if it has a restroom. He opened it for me. And it was really sketchy in there. I was the only female in there. And I was like, just get me home. And deliver that. Like I said, I'm really not afraid of people. So, I mean, there would be maybe a few exceptions. But overall, it's kind of like, what you see on the movies and everything, not so much like in person. People aren't just going to attack you. Watch me say that and then it happened. I remember one time I had to come here and go downtown. It was a Friday or Saturday night. I don't know which one. And I had to go to the historic downtown. There was this guy. He made me think of that. I love the show Ghost. You watch Ghost? I love that show. I really do. And Thor on it. The guy looked like Thor. Okay. All these tattoos. He had so many, and I could pretty much tell. I knew a guy. I dated a guy that had 200 and something tattoos, according to him. His ex-girlfriend had counted them, and he got them in prison. Yeah, I have a past, let me tell you. Yeah, I wasn't always with Adam. But, and And this guy looked like that. And he was walking down, and I had turned the wrong corner. I couldn't find the place, and I was delivering historic downtown Plano. And here he was, like Thor, walking, come toward me. I just kept walking. He's just another person to me. And I was like, okay, I gotta check this. It's not funny. But at the same time, it is funny because I'm really not afraid of people. Not good. So, anyway, I'm gonna see what that order was. Okay, it was $6. A whole whopping $6 in all this time. It's $3.49. Can you believe 2 hours? I made $6. Wow. Yeah. Hey, just get my feet wet again. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna waste it. Nope, not here. Not anywhere. But $6. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Weekends, I guess, not in Murphy. Weekdays in Murphy. Weekends, maybe. Yeah, I should have figured this one out before, but I know there's other places to go weekdays too. Mainly, it's in Murphy, not Murphy. Well, Murphy is one of them, but McKinney, Texas. McKinney, Frisco. I have options. We'll see. I don't know if I want to go home since I got the one. I've done one. I just wanted to do one just to hold my place. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the best time for orders. Anyway, it's $3.50, like I said. Now it's $3.50. But that apartment complex that I was talking about, the Fearless Warrior, the lion behind its owner's door. It's what is it called? It's prophecy, not prophecy. What is it called? Anyway, it's one of those. That every dog is a lion behind its gate, its owner's gate or owner's door. And that one, it had to be a Chihuahua. They must take it outside to go to the bathroom right there at the door because it stunk. Yeah. I'm like, I just want to get out of here. It stunk and all that. But I did take some pictures. See, I usually take the pictures for, I put it on an account that I don't make public, for if I ever need one. After that one time that those kids did that, I truly think that I know it was the kids. I know where it was. I was sitting right out there going, what are they doing? I mean, my brain knew, but yeah. To get proof? Yeah. Did not get proof. But anyway, after that I said, I'm always going to do this. Always going to take pictures, videos. This time I didn't take any video. I just wanted to get the heck out of Dodge. It stunk. It was not the best neighborhood. I don't know. Maybe it was. You never know. It didn't smell like it. And that was the whole thing. Get me out of there. It stinks. I mean, who would do that? If you got a Chihuahua, you're going to let it go pee right outside your door, the next door neighbor's door. Ugh, I wouldn't like to live there. So, anyway. Yeah, I'm going to go home and then I probably will go. I'm going to consider going out in a couple of months, almost 4, so maybe 6 o'clock till I think it gets dark around 8, so or 8 something now, so maybe give that a try. We'll see. I'll talk to you on another video. Okay, it's later on. It's just after 10 o'clock, I think, p.m. and I didn't wind up going back out. I was too tired. One of the things I need to get over is this weird sleeping thing that happened because of the heart failure and all that. And I didn't put in a clip of me leaving that apartment complex. I was going to, and I said, no, it would show really too close to where that person lived, and I don't like when people do that myself. But anyway, but in it, I had made this comment that I think it was pretty funny, because I said, I've been saying all you have to do is zoom in and you can see if it's an apartment or a house. Well, that was one that told me, nope, see there, you thought so. But I'm one who always says one size doesn't fit all anyway. And luckily it was on the first floor. But I think it may be, I don't remember seeing any stairs. I could be wrong. But I think there may be more like a fourplex or something like that. They were old. And it just wasn't, I don't know. Anyway, but I left that clip out, and so if you heard and it just seemed like it just, if anybody listens that long, it's a long rambling video, drive vlog, but, and so if it doesn't make sense, that's why. Plus, I didn't go back out like I thought I would, and I just wanted to add this to it. And I'm going to name them like this would be season 3. I started doing it in 2023. This is 2025. So it's 23, 24, and now 25. Now season 3. It feels like I'm starting over. Starting a new, not over, but a new, thing, because I have to watch my health even more. And but I was cleared, like there's nothing, no problem really. They had told me that this was more like, the way they said it in a way was like the 2 cardiologists, the one in the ER and the one who's my cardiologist now. It's kind of like this was a warning signal. Hey, gotta watch it. So anyway, that's all I wanted to add.